So this can be a really fun project for teens. They seem to really enjoy transforming, adding features, making their nose, or adding colors, or changing the whole picture by grabbing screen regions and being able to transform the different features in an animated way with Scratch. This project should take about 45 to 60 minutes. Um, this project, like other projects, will start off by actually cutting out the cat that always comes up when you create a new project in Scratch. And I'll just click on the cat with the delete tool, and the cat goes away. The next step is to actually make sure that you're clicked on the stage. It's highlighted here, and when I click on it, you can see the blocks. And we're going to click on the Backgrounds tab. When you do click on the Backgrounds tab, you may have done this before and you've noticed there's a Paint button, an Import button, but there's also a Camera button. And if you have a built-in webcam, you can use that button to take a picture of your face, and that's what we're going to do right now. I click on it, and suddenly you get to see what I look like. What I'm going to do right now then is line up my face so that the top of my head and the fits to the top of the screen, and the bottom fits here. We really want to fill it up so that we can take advantage of all the features of your face. I'm going to center my face, and then I'm going to put the cursor right over the camera button so that I can look at the camera when I take this picture and just click down. So I'm set. I think it's okay. I'll put it on a nice smile. And you can see in the background that took a picture of my face. So I'm going to click Done. So now we can see that we have a new background image. That image is static, it doesn't do anything. And what we want to do is take advantage of that and transform parts of the image and turn them into sprites themselves. It's kind of a fun way to explore Scratch. To do that, all I have to do is move the mouse over to one of those areas. So I'm going to take a picture of an eye, and I'm going to right click right next to it. And what it'll pull up is this neat little window that says Grab Screen Region. If I click on this, I get crosshairs. I'm going to move them over to the side of the eye, a little above, so that I can pull down across a little rectangle around the eye. Once I do that and drag around it, you can see a highlight there. When I let it go, I have a new sprite right here. Now the sprite gets centered, so I'm going to want to try to line it back up with the way that my face looks. It looks a little high there. I'm going to move it over a little bit. Still doesn't look quite right. There it looks pretty close to the right spot. Now with this sprite, what I can do is I can transform it, and I'm going to animate these features. And to do that, I'm going to go to the Looks area. Click on the Looks, and I have all these blocks. I'm going to grab this first one here. It says Change Size by 10. I'll drag it out here, and if I click on that, you'll see it changes subtly. It actually increases by 10. I click it again, click it again, click it again, and click it again, and it gets bigger. Now how many times I clicked it, I may have forgotten. I might not have counted. So I can pull out this block that says Set Size to 100% and just leave it on top to reset it. If I click on it, it sets the eye sprite, that's over the other eye, back to the original size. Now, just like I did, I can double click this a whole bunch of times, but instead of doing that, what I'm going to do is create a little script that makes it get bigger and repeats that clicking by 10. So I go to Control, I go look for the repeat, and it actually repeats, and it actually will repeat whatever happens inside here by 10. Let's find out. I move it inside, and if I click on this now, it quickly grows. Now, it got bigger when I clicked that, and what I'm going to do now is just click inside the number and highlight it, and then actually add a -10. I'm going to make the opposite, and click on it again to see what happens. And basically it grew by 10 and then it shrank by 10. So I'll click on that number again. I'll change it back to 10 and try it. and it grows. Okay, now I'm going to reset it. And the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to create another set of blocks that shrinks it. So I can use the duplicate tool, pull it out, click on top, and now I have another set of blocks with the repeat. And in this one, I'm going to make my -10. And if I click on this, I get my eye grows larger and then it grows smaller. The other part of this is the speed. I'll do it again and do it again. And as you can see, it'll keep doing that as I click on this. To make that automatic itself, I can go and get a forever, drag it out, and put that around it. And now if I click on this, I have an eye that grows and shrinks. All right, I'm going to stop that because there's one thing I'm noticing about the eye. I'm noticing that the eye seems to have these corners around it and doesn't fit very well. So it's sort of an illusion, but I think it would look a lot better if I could trim down the edges of this. I'm going to reset it back to 100%. And in fact, I'm going to stick that 100% right on top. So whenever I do this group of blocks, it always starts with 100% and then repeats. All right. So to change this eye and to get rid of those corners, or that rectangular shape around the eye, I click on the sprite, and then I go up to costumes, and then I edit. And now what I can do is take the erase tool and carefully I can erase around the eye. So really what I'm going to see is just the shape of the eye itself. And I want to be really careful here because I don't want to cut too much. I can always undo. And then once I'm satisfied, I'll click OK. And now you can't really tell a difference, but if I go back to scripts, I click here. Now the eye is going in and out, bigger and smaller, and it looks a little smoother. Okay, and then there's one other adjustment I want to make to this eye. Currently, this eye right now seems to move a little fast. So I'm actually going to add a little bit of time in here. I'm going to put a weight right under the change size, and then I'm going to make that a very small little weight. I'm going to use 1/100 of a second to make sure it's balanced so that it is taking just as much time getting larger as smaller. I'm going to do that for the other as well. And now let's test it. And that seems to feel a little better. Its animation isn't quite so abrupt and quite so fast. I kind of like the way it looks. Okay, once you're satisfied with one of the features of your face, you can move on to another and experiment a little bit more. I'll go and try creating a sprite out of the second eye. And I do the same thing. Grab the screen region, go around the eye. I want to move it into that place. It looks correct. It has the corners, so this time I'm going to go to the costumes right away and edit it. And again, I'm just going to try to get pretty close to the outline of the eye, and then I'm going to click OK. And then I'm going to do something special because I know that in this program, in this script, it seems to work pretty well by setting the size to the original size and then making it bigger and smaller. I can actually grab this set of blocks, and if I grab it from the top block, slowly drag it over and hold it over this new sprite and let it go, it actually copies to that new sprite. I can find out by clicking on it. And now I have that same script on both eyes. And if If I click the green flag right now, nothing will happen. Let's find out. Yeah. So if I go here and put a green flag cap on this one, and then go here and put a green flag cap on this one, I can click the green flag. And now I have a special effect with both of my eyes. All right, that's Scratch Photoface.